Good morning everybody. Hello, my name is MYNews, your host for the breakfast show, Trading Ideas with SMARTRobie. Now, as we can see, the KLCI had a huge sell-off last night or yesterday closing, almost down 24 points, and we were concerned that whether the Pentagon guider has turned red or not. But this morning, we'll definitely check it. At the same time, we did see Dow also selling off and also Nasdaq selling off. So let's look at what's happening to our headline. And here we will bring you with the best stories that we have for you. Now let's go on to what we have for you. And today, Wednesday, that's right. No, so Wednesday, we generally be looking at the intermediate trade idea. That's right. A lot of these are generally trending stocks. And last week, we did pick two trade ideas, and that seems to be moving well. We will look at it on the later part of the show in here. And also, we will be checking out the news sentiment of the KLCI. And definitely, many of you would agree with me. Right now, the sentiment is not as great as what we are. But before that, let's look at the news headline that we have for you this morning. But of course, I just want to show you this very important chart that we always refresh and refresh again. This side, you can see there the huge sell down that we have, the 24 point, and we are if today we have another sell off, definitely I think we're going to hit the red pentagon, which does tell you where KLCI is. Any chance the market goes up, there's huge selling in here. But I do take note, the last 2 days, the Genting Malaysia and Genting Berhad are selling off, and that's causing also this little small issue that we said, which means we are likely to lock in a sideways market going forward. What do you think? Do you agree with my prognosis so far that, any chance that the market goes higher, there is a bit of selling at the resistance in here? All right. Let's look at what we have for our news headline this morning in our local papers on Star Business. Definitely the tech snack back. That's right. Now there is a hope right now. Some of these tech stock has been correcting. It looks like we have a little bit of rebound yesterday. We have some of the good stock like Frontcan. Check out Frontcan. I think they already turned green pentagon in there, and also some of those things. But you can type in sector and take a look at this too. Right, and also the KLCI did tumble a fair bit. Remember, some of these tech stocks are not one of those heavy weight component of the KLCI. If it is, then you would see that KLCI wouldn't fall that much. So right now, the news that is coming out from US with regards to the sale, it is causing, but I kind of find it very interesting because the tech sell, the tech is still correcting in the Nasdaq in US. So this one may be just very, very short term, in my opinion, unless we did see the interest rate. That's right, the 10-year interest rate on the US side looks to be easing off, and maybe, just maybe, we will see this tech continue to go off. So what do you think? Let me know. Will we see a tech sell-off? But do take note of the 10-year yield interest rate. Thank you again for your warm wishes, and do share this video in your timeline so more people can enjoy what we have for you today. Definitely, let's look at our next headline is the Berjaya Corp. That's right. Now, Berjaya Corp, like it or not, has been a very traditional conglomerate over the years. We remember them for Grandy's, Wendy's. When I was just a high school student, we come out, we go to McDonald's. These were all Berjaya Corp. Then after so many years, finally they're bringing in a non-family member, that is the PNB ex-CEO Jalil Rashid to be running this. Is fairly young for 38-year-old in here. So we will see many major changes in here. As such, they are given higher valuation by the stock, by the market in here, hitting 20-month high. So I wish all the best for Berjaya Corp going forward. They are able to change with the times, whereas most of these days, a lot of business are in click and rather than brick and mortar, but it's more like click and purchase. This kind of business model in here. So all the best for B Corp. We will be watching very interesting whether this is just short term or there is an upper trend going forward. A lot of challenges, definitely for sure. Now let's move on. Our next headline is Pokong. Now if you look at Pokong, having said that, this is a play on the gold, but my past analysis on Pokong, it's pretty much a retail play, and when gold goes up, it goes up a little bit, but when gold sell down, it really gets hammering in here. And I'll show you the chart in here. You can see right now from this onwards, you can see the left hand side, which is over here, that chart seems to go up and really responding to gold, but since then has dropped back down to below 84 cents in here. So it's still tough times. Having said that, with the gold business, the jewelry business are impacted by the COVID pandemic that we've seen inside there. Let's look at Pokong this morning in here, whether it is responding to the Q2 results. Right? No, not really. It's still down minus 1.3%. Let's move on to our next news that we have for you in here. All right. So our next news is USMA. The USMA bagged a 3-year contract from Petronas for 180 million. This is an oil and gas. And we do see retreat also on the WTI crude oil because of the Europe that we've seen. I believe France and Spain will continue their lockdown to April 18 because of the new variant which is coming in here. So that's certainly a disappointment for the reopening of the economy in the EU. And also we did see a little bit spike too of COVID in US over the weekend in Florida, where we see a curfew being imposed, but yet people are going to Florida for their spring break, and it is causing a lot of a problem in here. So USMA is down minus 1.9% in here. But let's take a look at the chart for USMA, and you can see very nicely done, still going up, hit the upthrust. You can see usually upthrust you have two followed bar. Okay, you see the upthrust on top of you, then you have two subsequent bar after the upthrust coming down. That usually tells you weakness is coming in there, and still holding up. The trend is still settling up in there, but we shall see whether if the oil sell down will cause this USMA to perhaps trend back down again. Yet to be seen on that one, but definitely it does look like this stock is going through some sort of a transformation, but we will see. All right, let's move on to our next news is on Anju. Now, Anju is short-term selling that they've seen. This is also due to the steel that has done very well for the pressed metal and some of those. Let's look at Anju this morning here. Okay, so Anju, and do take note, the analyst is actually giving a target price of 157. So if you look at the Anju price right now, it's 198. So certainly this caution note seems to be overvalued, and that's why we see Anju breaking down what we've seen. So this news certainly has caused some sort of price repercussion coming down in here, but we all know that ever since Anju hit red pentagon, all right, on somewhere around 28th of February. Let me switch to a wider chart. You can see that on this side of the chart here, 28th of February. So that seems to be playing out to the sideways movement in here. You're well informed about this. Now the market broke back down to it. It also hit the ATR stop loss. That's the red line that you see. So usually that's the case you want to, exit. I'll take some partial profit. But having said that, it did have a nice run. But now we have to cautious. As I said before, the target price, which is depicted here, is 157, and that's already been much higher in here. Take note of that one. Let's move on to our next story. It's no other than MYEG. Now, MYEG, with a lot of expansion projects, a lot of things are bearing fruit, and we did see the higher price. But did take note, last round when the good result was announced, MYEG took a beating and actually sell down, all right, and it hasn't recovered yet. Even this morning, as you can see here, let me just type in MYEG, looking at the stock price, it is still slightly down 1%. So all these are still bearing upon the KLCI very bad sentiment in here. So you can see target price of 265, yet it is still trading just below 2 ringgit in here. So MYEG, lots of good news, but price is not responding to this good news that you see so far in here. Okay, next news, we're going to move on to the US market again. Last night, the Dow Jones fell 300 points. That's right, 300 points, not so good. As the cyclic stocks are exhausted, they are referring to more of those oil and gas, also responding to the continuation of the COVID, right? But it does have a support at 32,000. We did see also the Nasdaq sell off too. But good news is the interest rate yield is slowing down. It did head up to about 1.7. Now it's slightly below 1.6. We have to see whether that trend will taper off at the top, and if we see interest rates start to slow down, then Nasdaq may respond better. Then we see probably a short recovery. Right now, I think the Nasdaq is going through market correction in here, and Dow Jones will still follow too, right, after the reasons why. But there are news right now after the 1.9 trillion COVID that's been passed. Right now, they're going to be looking at a new infrastructure which will be tabled to the US Congress, and that seems to be that 3 trillion infrastructure, which include some of those repairing bridges and road, as well as the green energy movement. We yet to be seen whether this US Congress will pass this 3 trillion. So what does that mean? It does mean US will be continuing to printing more money out, and a lot of this stimulus is going to go into the economy. So take note of that one too. Right. So let's look at the news. We have the news sentiment. Going back to the main menu here. Right, you can click it here, and we can see the news segment, which is on top of me here. On top of me here, you can see very negative. The Bursa open easy and cautious trading, open lower and end session in red. So that tells you it's negative territory, the sentiment. And SMARTRobie, being artificial intelligence, they're able to read this headline and at least confirm to you. So those of you who are busy like me were able to use this as a prognosis in here. Ta'an also, it's very positive on that one. So you might want to check out Ta'an. So some of these news that you see, Ta'an positive news, check it out in here. And also Maxis, check it out on the chart and see whether there is any opportunity to re-enter or maybe do something about it. All right, so that is the news that we have for you in here. So let's move on to some of our past trade idea which have done pretty well. Of course, not all of them did well. We have KGB was discussed on the 6th of January, revenue, front can, and take a look at front can too. We did have another green pentagon right now. Check it out in there. All right, front can, Inari, Penta. But let's move down to item number 10. That's right. Now, MYNews was the trade idea that we discussed on last week episode on this intermediate level, 17th of March. Seems to be doing well. Let's start and look at them as the lesson learned for our past trade. MYNews up 9.4%, and also WCT, another trade idea at the time, was up 0.5 or almost unchanged. Let's look at the chart that we have, and let me bring it up for you right now in here. And so here is this chart here, and you can see. So first one we will look at is WCT first. So WCT, you type it in there, and you can see on a daily chart, WCT, when we first look at it, 17th of March, was somewhere around here. The market did pop back down. It's down 7 points, but recover 7%. So it's more like a push down, and that was also reacting on earning. WCT, I think the earning is, wow, it's down almost 4,000 over percent according to the trading view in here, but we need to confirm on our side here. All right, but the market is still holding up. You have an upthrust, yet to be seen whether we will see red pentagon. But right now, WCT is having some pressure from the upthrust. So it's important that some of you who've been following knows this as sign of weakness. Okay, sign of weakness. Check out the video tutorial that we have on this side here. You can see there's a QR code. Scan that one. You can watch that one, or subscribe to our plugin in here. Continue to have an update. And also, some of you may notice I have this colorful red colored indicator. Green and yellow. These are our latest indicator called volume flow, which actually teach them on our master class. Very powerful, very indicative. You can see in here that was another chance for you to re-enter at that point. So something for our members, especially those of you who are from our master class. All right, let's look at the next one. We have MYNews. Right, MYNews in here is we picked this on the 17th of March. That's the date, you can see, right? And it has gone up 9% in here. But let's switch to an hourly chart. All right. So we have here on around 10 o'clock here, that's 17th of March. The market did pop up on red pentagon, but it did not break lower. You notice the 2 moving average able to stay above. Then we did break higher in here, and this market, do we have any volume going up? Yes, this is what we talk about. Look at that, the step up volume with the step up price. So that's looking to be good. Again, many of you will be considering, hey, maybe I enter today. If you want to do that, please type in MYNews. All right, check out MYNews in here and look at the trading plan. All right, look at the trading plan and you're able to see if you want to go in for this one. Definitely if you trade above 91 cents. So a good re-entry is above 91 cents, which is somewhere around here, or a pullback at 76 cents around here. Those will be the 2 ideal price inside there, and trading period is between 2 weeks to 2 months with a profit target of 96 cents. All right, take note of that one in here. So MYNews did do well, up 9.4% since last week that we talked about. Very decent in here. All right, let's look at what we have for you going forward. Definitely is our this week, episode 49. That's right, episode 49. And what do we have in store for you? Yes, we have 2 stocks. 2 stocks will be our intermediate trade idea today for the 24th of March will be MCement and Fajar. How do you get this? So you go to SMARTRobie, hit those charts, right? And you can see trending stocks, which is just above me here. That's right, just above me here. And when you hit that one, you're able to see all the stock. There are about 9 of them. Pekka has done pretty well, continue to run up a fair bit, but we are looking at Fajar and MCement. All right, so Fajar and MCement are our 2 trade idea in there. Let's take a look at it. All right, so MCement, that's for Malayan steel. All right, we have a nice breakout in here. You still got a lot of overheads. That's the main resistance to the 270 that it needs to take out. And let's look at Fajar. Okay, Fajar continue. We have a sell off 5%. And the market still hold back up in here. Let's see this stock able to trend up. Now do take note, we have the sector analysis, okay, which we're going to go at that next. All right, so keep in mind, we will check this out in shortly. So let's move on to our, what we have for you next is the agenda. That's right, the agenda of our SMARTRobie show is always to debut our Pentagon guided trading portfolio strategy, which we talked about last week, continue to do well. And last year 2020 we have back-tested results of 106% over a portfolio of 35,000 in here, and right now for 31,000 a portfolio we are making 9% in here. So do ask yourself, for the month of January, February, March, have you been doing well? If you did not do positively or compare to the benchmark of the KLSE of minus 0.3%, then ask you whether you need to have some sort of a revamp of your strategy. Continue to follow us and be able to achieve that 9%. And do give me a feedback whether it's possible or you have beaten our benchmark of a 9% for the last 3 months, which is not too bad, 3% a month. And if you compound that, maybe we get 36%, maybe not. But let's see if we can get higher or not. All right, so this is what we want to challenge you, a 9% return for the last 3 months in here for a portfolio of 31,000 in here. All right. So let's look at the sector, which I want to talk about in here just now. The 2 sectors, sector analysis. Just now we selected, just now we were discussing about the trade idea, MCement and Fajar, which actually came out in our trending list inside here. And let's take a look at our sector analysis in here. And our sector analysis is coming up right now just on top of me here. So you can see property and construction. So it's no surprise why MCement and why Fajar in here, right? Property and construction though are those 2s that you can see in here. So that will be interesting, I think. So those are the 2 hot sectors right now, and why we pick them is because we want to align our trade with the sector analysis inside there. And of course, if you look at the same one, the healthcare and also the tech stocks are in the red territory. Select those with the green territory in here for your sector analysis. Let's move on to what we have. Also, always pay attention to this sign or strength line change setup, which we continue to flash out, because this is how it looks like. And if you just bring this up in here, you can see this green pentagon on the 17th of March is the schematic what you see here. That's right. So you keep training your eyeballing, but Pentagon Guider, which is from our SMARTRobie, able to do a better job for you and able to pick it up for you. All you have to do is continue to follow SMARTRobie on our daily discussion or follow us in this breakfast show in here. All right. And also we have the tutorial. Those of you who do check out the tutorial that we have in here. Some of these may be very brief, but those of you who want to learn more, definitely follow us in our master class, which we were talking about the next incoming intake in April 2021. Of course, tonight is our 1 hour live talk tonight at 9:30 p.m. So make sure you join me. It is on market bubble. So we will explore the history of the market bubble that we've seen and whether we are in such situation, and if we do, how do we avoid it? So join me tonight 9:30 as we will take on the market bubble in here. And not to forget, also on 3rd of April, we will have our technical analysis with TradingView for beginners, which will begin on 10 a.m. It's a 3-hour workshop for those of you who want to know more about what we do in here. Definitely no other than Tom Williams, the father of SMARTRobie, the father of VSA. I'm the father of SMARTRobie, that's right. And he's the one who actually shared with me how to use volume spread analysis. And again, I will also share them with you in more in-depth in our masterclass 3-day course intake coming this November. If you have not considered our masterclass, this is where we can grow your mindset to be a trained trader and a trained investor. Something for you to consider in here. And also we'll be talking about the US and the KLSE market. That will be nice. And don't forget to share SMARTRobie and get additional 400 credit in here, so you get more in here. So right now we will be doing our stock review that you have inside here. Stock review in here, and definitely I want to look at previous trading range for Latitude looks not so bad. This is Chan Hui Ling here. I will give priority to Happy, Richie Invest, Chris, and LK Kwan, Bernard Chin inside here, right? And so if not, I'll look at the so there were no requests from some of the Facebook reviewer or our Google Play Store. So let's look at Latitude 3 and RHB. All right, Latitude and RHB, if they don't do so well, you need to cut loss. Haha, that's right. Okay, so Latitude 3. Okay, Latitude 3 is already red pentagon. Okay, it's already red pentagon, and so let's take into the Latitude 3. Okay. So what did your trading plan sounds like? Okay. So let's look at the exit strategy in here. So exit strategy is 184. Okay, 184 today, 186. It's already in the red pentagon. Will move sideways. Be ready to exit. All right. It's already red already. You need to exit very, very soon. All right. So take note of it. If you break through the ATR stop loss, please go. So one of the things that we do, we turn on here. You can see we already broken the ATR stop loss. As a matter of fact, actually, it has broken the ATR stop loss already. All right, it has broken the ATR stop loss. You can see, yes, that's right. So if you look at the chart here, you see that ATR stop loss, that just on top of me. Yep, it has broken it. That's why it will continue to fall some more in here. Follow your trading plan. All right. Also look at RHB. So RHB. Okay, let's look at RHB in here. Let's look at the stock chart, whether it hit through the ATR stop loss or not. It just turned red pentagon. That's right, it just turned red pentagon. So take note of it. It's still far away from the ATR stop loss, which is above me, around 520 inside there. So red pentagon, do be cautious. You need to take action very soon for this one in here. All right, we got Chris. I want me to look at Asia PLC. Sure can. Asia PLC inside here. right? And all right, so we have these two inside here. And how about this side? Any of our Facebook reviewer? Okay, so we just have a Chris here for Asian A PLC. Okay, let's look at Asia PLC. All right, Asia PLC pretty good. You have a nice pullback in here. Normally when you see climatic, Chris, you need to take note. A lot of climatic action like this, widespread bar with the VSI bar, market generally pull back. And right now, it must hold above this 34 cents. If it does hold, then we'll see this pulling up. Again, going back to the sector analysis, which I'll talk about. If Asia Poly, all right, just type it in there and see what sector is it in. And just type fundamentals. If it's on the construction, I think it's on industry, right? Asia Poly. Yeah, Asia. Right, and see what kind of sector it is. Hit the stock fundamentals in there, and let's check it out. It is in the industrial product. It's a very small cap stocks, unfortunately. Small cap stock, very profitable, 11% in here. All right, it's a growth stocks, so it is it's still considered as overvalue in here. So take note of this one here. But the holding up above the 34 cent seems to be pretty decent in here. Okay. So any more stocks we want to review? Okay, so that looks like the stock that we have for this morning. For you guys who want to be reviewed, I didn't see any in here, right? That means SMARTRobie is responding well to many of your usual queries, either using exit strategy or using trading plan. That's right, just simply just follow it. There are trades that may not work, so sometimes it's also good for you to study those charts. As I said before in here, some of the picks, again, do take note. We want to be in, right, when the market is bullish. So right now in here, we have this sell-off here. A lot of stocks is going to misbehave. Having said that, we continue to do well on our portfolio strategy. That's the one we talked about last Saturday. That's right, the portfolio strategy. We have very fixed rules. Some of you have, and again, we will be doing that regularly on our monthly masterclass follow-up. So it's good for you to join our masterclass, at least learn more, right, and able to have some sort of coaching from our mentors, right, like myself, and also from our coaches and trainers. That's something for you to take a look at it to improve what you have. So thank you so much. So for all the stocks that we have, right, and Asia Poly is healthcare. Asia Poly is a healthcare. It roll under as industrial product. So usually healthcare is taking a beating lah. You know that, right? A lot of healthcare not doing so well. So it's surprised this one is staying up. If you look at LKL, I think that one's really go more further down. Okay, so that's all we have. And do subscribe to our YouTube, and you will be notified of any new uploads, so you're able to follow it and watch some of our sector, company idea discussion in here, and also US market. All right, so that's all we have for today. And if you're first time, do subscribe to our Telegram chat room and be informed for all our information and educational tips that will help you to grow your money and your portfolio to achieving your agenda, being a train trader and train engineer for 2021. Thank you again. I'll see you tonight at 9:30 for our live FP talk. Okay, bye-bye.